Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are currently standing in Razatan for the healer Rolequest. And given who stands here, it probably goes to Mhigo if we see the characters here. If you are ready to lend us your aid, I'll apprise you of the situation. We've received reports of a creature believed to be a blasphemy stalking the streets of Mhigo. Troops have been assigned to track and slay the beast, but there are likely to be casualties. With most of our healers posted elsewhere, we had thought to petition you for aid. I would be glad to help. Once again, we're in your debt. We shall inform Commander Alden forthwith. My comrades in the Immortal Flames will be glad to have you watching over them. You see, as there has been no sighting of any blasphemies in our lands, we have joined our Alamigan allies in the hunt for the fiend. Trouble is, the majority of our own healers are working day and night to treat the tempered Imperials captured at Fagelfan. For that reason, we too will be glad for your aid. Aye, your presence alone will be of great comfort to the troops, I'm sure. As time is of the essence, I ask that you make your way to the Alamigan quarter and report for duty. Commander Alden is overseeing the hunt, and he will explain all upon your arrival. May Walga grant you strength. Mr. Klingo. We were told you were on the way, but this is even quicker than I expected. I'll tell Commander Alden you have arrived. One moment, please. Glad you could join us. Now that the far greater crisis has been resolved, we may, and must, turn our undivided attention to matters of a smaller but no less deadly scale. I'd like nothing more than to hear about your recent adventures, but I'm afraid such pleasantries will have to wait. As our man in Fafnir will have told you, a blasphemy is loose in Mhigo. When it first appeared, the city guard were able to get most of the bystanders to safety, and for a mercy, those caught in the chaos only suffered minor injuries. But the fiend managed to escape and has not been seen since. We must find it, and soon. For as long as it remains at large, every man, woman and child is at risk. As was the case in Fafnir, the blasphemy's very existence seems to spur the creation of lesser beasts. The longer it's allowed to roam free, the more tragedy our people will suffer. Did anyone see the change take place? Aye, there were several eyewitnesses who gave the same account. A man walking through the Alamigan quarter fell to his knees all of a sudden, and a moment later transformed into the monstrosity we now pursue. But beyond the fact he was a young Highlander, we know next to nothing about him. Even the description of his appearance are too vague to help identify the lad, and we have no clues as to his name or background. For all we know, he might not even have been born in Mhigo, might have been the son of a refugee come to visit. There are other possibilities we're investigating though. That said, I doubt the circumstances are unique. Blasphemies and beasts are born when men are overcome by despair, and whatever drove him to turn likely could have done the same to another. Therefore, if we are to prevent future tragedies, it's imperative that we identify and address the underlying cause. Until we do, we'll have no choice but to deal with the afflicted the only way we know how. By granting them a quick death. For now, I would have you join the hunt, and keep my men from falling prey to these creatures. Are you up to it? You have my thanks. And as the chance would have it, we've just received word that a number of beasts were spotted on the outskirts of Alagana. The troops stationed there have already put them down, but they're wounded in the process. First and foremost, they need medical attention, and that's where you come in. I'll meet you there. Although the soldiers were able to lead the beasts away from the village and cull a lot of them, victory did not come easily. It's times like these that our lack of healers is most sorely felt. I dare say they have yet to receive any treatment at all. See to their wounds while I survey the area for any stragglers that may have escaped. Once I've completed my patrol, I head to the village to gather eyewitness reports. Look for me there after. Gods be God, I feel reborn. Hold on, you're Desiree, aren't you? I can't believe it. You're the one who inspired me to join the resistance in the first place. Now you've come to save me in my hour of need. I'll never forget this. Thank you. Thank you. I saw them change right before my eyes. Those weren't monsters I killed, but innocent men. But it had to be done. There were others we had to protect. And thanks to you, I can continue to do just that. Once I've made my way back, I'll give a full account. The families will understand. Auenwald. It was good of you to come all this way, for I never doubted for a moment that you wouldn't. For treating the wounds of those soldiers you have my thanks, and theirs too, no doubt. It seems they were indeed successful in slaying all the beasts, if my search is any indication, but we must remain vigilant. I've also spoken with several people who witnessed the moment of a transformation, but the ordeal has understandably left them rather shaken. I hear you've been through a fair few ordeals yourself, Desiree. As for me, I've been kept busy with this and that, like getting the hang of his wheelchair. Obviously it has its limitations, but it gets me where I need to go. I've been working with his new organization as well, which is what brought me here. But no sooner had I arrived that those locals turned... Raganfrid, I heard you were there when it happened. What can you tell us? The ones who underwent the change are very people we are trying to help. I don't understand. Perhaps I should explain from the beginning. The meeting Lise held in the Royal Palace marked a turning point for all Giabania. It spurred us to open a dialogue with peoples and communities we otherwise would have shunned. But there's still so many problems to be addressed, and countless souls struggling to build new lives for themselves. I decided to form a volunteer group, the Silver Griffins. Our main concern is the welfare of Alamegans who sided with the Empire, for whatever reason, and helping them find their place in society. In particular, the surviving families of Acrania Lupi. You've changed. Make no mistake, I have not forgiven them. I don't have that in me, and I doubt I ever will. But the memory of that day in the palace, of Hordola asking to be locked up again after saving us all, it stayed with me. Got me to thinking about why she and the other youths would commit such atrocities. Why they'd swear to serve the Empire. And the answer was simple. Because they'd seen what we'd seen, and suffered much the same. In a hell where all were condemned, They chose to betray one brother to save another. That's how Gallians win. Not by breaking you, but by making you break yourself. By making that choice the right one for a man at the end of his tether. Healing only begins with liberation, and some scars never will regardless. Those who've returned from foreign lands may have difficulty carving out a living here, but the ones who pledged allegiance to Garlemald... This is not the Mhigo we've dreamed of, but after 20 years of misery, I'll not see it thrown away because we can't come to terms with our past. That's why I formed the Silver Griffins. To see that no one is cast aside. It's a cause I support. It's what brought me here today. I've been acting as a mediator. Aye, and in the short time he's been with us, he's proven himself a natural. But despite our early successes, the families of the skulls continue to refuse our help. I think I see where this is leading. They're the ones who turned, yes? It comes as no surprise. Their kin tormented and murdered fellow Alamegans. Anyone with a conscience would feel shame and guilt. And for some, it might be too much to bear. I think I might know why they're turning us away. It's a sensitive matter though, so let's go somewhere we won't be overheard. It's about one of the men who turned. I saw his memories. With the echo. I'll not pretend I understand it, but tell us what you learned. I only caught a glimpse, but that was enough. It was during the occupation. A man raising his son. Only the two of them, but they were a family. To keep his boy clothed and fed, he chose to side with the Empire. He knew what others would say, but he did it anyway. And so he was branded a traitor. Every day his son listened to the jeering, the insults, but there was nothing he could do. When he came of age, he joined the Skulls in the hope it would make life easier for his father. He never dared to question his orders, no matter how depraved. He died in the revolution, but not before killing his own countrymen. His father wept not for the betrayer and murderer, but for the man he could have been. He blamed it all on himself, right up until the change took him. I can only pray he and his boy have finally found the peace they were denied in life. Alas, theirs an all too familiar tale. They cannot forgive themselves, nor can they see how anyone else could. The sins of their kin weigh heavy on them. They think themselves undeserving of our compassion. If they carry on like that, they'll turn into beasts. We got to help them before it's too late. Growing up half Guardian and Mhigo, I know how it feels to be shunned and hated. To hate myself. But so long as we give ourselves and others a chance, we can change for the better. And while I might not be as clever or eloquent as someone like Alphino, I know I can make a difference. I might not be quite the swordsman I used to be, but I'm still a fighter at heart. And I owe it to Abba and Ollie to make the most of this life so long as I've got it. We Silver Griffins will give our all to see that no more beasts or blasphemies ravage Giabania again. So, Commander Alden, do we have your approval to continue our work? Of course, there's no enemy more formidable than despair, and I'd be a fool to refuse your help. That even a single one of our people has succumbed to this transformation is proof of our failure to protect them. Therefore, I pledge the Silver Griffins my unconditional support. Together, we will prevail. Now that we have Desiree on hand to aid the troops, I believe they are ready to face any beasts we encounter. Though I fear it's only a matter of time before others appear, I ask that you lend the Silver Griffins your assistance in the meantime. Very good. For now, let's return to the city. So, we have an idea of what the problem is. After all you've done for the people of Gyabania, we couldn't ask for more, and yet here you are. Those who harbor guilt do so not because they are weak of heart, but because they have failed to meet the demands they make of themselves. It was the same for me when I believed that my failure had led to the Sultana's assassination. The despair and self-loathing were indescribable. I was fortunate that you and the other scions came to my rescue, but I had friends who convinced me that I was more than the sum of my worst mistakes. Now we must do the same for the people of Mhigo. We must help them to heal, and find the strength to, if not forgive, then come to terms with who we were, so that we can look to who we can be, who we should aspire to be. This is precisely why the work of the Silver Griffins is so vital. Though our problems are not new, the emergence of this deadly phenomenon means we cannot afford to delay addressing them any longer. And we will be better for it, ultimately. Once we've decided a course of action, you'll be the first to know. Until then, may Walga watch over and keep you. So, let's continue. We were hoping you'd stop by. I'll show you to Commander Alden at once. You're welcome sight as always, Captain. Right, because I'm a Flame Captain. And he used to be the Flame General. Aye, and a lot has happened since last we spoke. We Silver Griffins have been keeping busy. As have I and my men, but I'm afraid we have little to show for our efforts. Although we've been searching high and low for the blasphemy, we've seen neither hide nor hair of it. Unfortunately, everyone else has had better luck. We've received reports of lesser beasts throughout Gyabania, and putting them down is as important as hunting the blasphemy that got away. To complicate matters, rumors have been circulating that these beasts with a skulled skin. But this was true of a recent incident in Alagana. We cannot have people jumping to conclusions, given what they might feel tempted to do. It has been suggested that we take these individuals into custody for their own protection as much as the safety of others, but that would only isolate them even further and give credence to the rumors. The recent unrest has hindered the efforts of the Silver Griffins to no end. Therefore I ask that you aid them in their endeavors and see if there's aught that can be done. Also, you'll be joined by another volunteer. Try not to be too surprised. I thought I had my ears burning. I said I didn't need a keeper, but did they bloody listen? Did they bollocks? Come on, don't be like that. This is what you agreed to. Besides, you never know when you might have need of a healer, and there's none better than Desiree. He's right. You've earned a measure of trust, and this shouldn't be taken to mean otherwise. Thick as thieves, are we now? And there's no need for this sodding collar, eh? Huh? We all know it's not coming off anytime soon. But if this is how it's to be, then fine, so long as she keeps out of my way. I want the two of you to visit the Silver Griffin's headquarters in Alagana. Several relatives of Lupi have agreed to meet with them, and we could do with a measure of precaution. If anyone so much as mentions the skulls, I'll deal with it, understood? Let's get this over with. She's as much at risk of turning as anyone, maybe even more so. You don't need the echo to see the weight she's carrying. She's still not got a handle on her own echo either. Sometimes the visions come without warning, and with such force that it's all she can do to stay standing. There's no telling what might happen when she comes face to face with a family of her former comrades. So look out for her. Please. I wish there was more I could do for her myself. But we've all got our own duties, and I see them through to the end. So must we all. Follow Fodola's lead. We're counting on you both. But be ready to step in, even if she curses you for it. Fodola is not the sort to ask for help, so make sure she doesn't get in over her head, would you? Yeah, I think you had a little crush on her. I'll admit this is not quite what I had in mind. Huh. I had a feeling Robin would send you this way, but as for her... If you got a complaint, take it up with a commander. No, it's fine. Truth be told, ever since that day at the Royal Palace, I've been thinking. Stop. You don't want to say it, and I don't want to hear it. To the matter at hand, then. We Silver Griffins have been working to support the relatives of Lupi, but one family has gone missing. A mother and her parents, who lived together under the same roof. One of ours paid them a visit, but they were nowhere to be seen, and when we went inside to check, they found the house had been torn to shreds. Thick gorges on the floor and walls, made by a beast's claws by the looks of them. You think they have turned? Aye. That's the most likely explanation. Please, do what you must before anyone else is hurt. There's no time to waste. I'll head west, you east. Arenval tells me she's been trying to make amends in her own way. I appreciate that she's not asking for what I can't give, but I keep thinking to myself, where do we go from here? And I honestly don't know. I can't quite reach the rasp I would like for the old man, but I can't do it. Unless I kill my fraud to do so, and I don't want to do that either. Crumpled letter. In the dirt you spy an envelope containing a crumpled, tear-stained letter. Dear Mother, I hope this letter finds you well. Time is short, so I must be brief. Although I've never done anything to make you proud, I promise you things will be different when the war's over. Until then, take care, and know that I love you with all my heart. Placing the letter back into its envelope, you turn your attention to finding the others. Time-worn wedding ring. You discover what appears to be a wedding ring with a name and date engraved on the inside. With seemingly no more clues to be found, you decide to report to Raganfried. What's done is done. Were you able to find anything? Then it is as we feared. I found and killed a third. It was carrying this. A matching ring. I deliver these effects to the next of kin and arrange for a funeral, or as close to one as possible under the circumstances. There's no changing the past. We'll always carry it and the scars. But no matter who we were and what we did, we are Lamegans, then and now. The Empire was our enemy then, and now it's despair. Good words and deeds will serve us best in this fight. Weapons even an old man like me can yet wield. Thanks to the two of you, the missing villagers may finally be laid to rest. I and the other Silver Griffins will redouble our efforts to prevent any further tragedies. I finished checking the wares, sir. Everything is in order. Good work. Take a rest, lad. You've more than earned it. Keep this to yourself, but Everard's younger brother was a member of a Crania Lupi. He's exactly the sort of person we're trying to help. Like many of the others, he was reluctant to talk to us at first. But after we'd gained his trust, we were able to help him find work. He's taken to it well. It's the butcher! Traitors, all of us. Kinslayers deserving of hate and death. Hate and death. Get back! Get back! Stay away from her! Fordola saved your girl's life. I know, but she's... It happened in an instant. The poor lad. But it had to be done, and without hesitation. Would have been much worse otherwise. Could you go after Fordola and see to her wounds? I do what I can here. We're not living a song or a fairy tale. These problems we struggle with won't be solved overnight. Nevertheless, we've got to do what we can do to move forward as a people united, or we have to keep dealing with tragedies like this. She risked her life to save my daughter. What else she may have done, I owe her for that. I want to say thank you to a brave lady for rescuing me. Do you think I'll see her again? Fair. I'm fine, leave me be. I said I don't need your help. I'm a healer, let me do my job. Thanks. God, you're like a dog with a bone. Go on then and make it quick. A curl can't change its spots, and there's no washing the blood of my hands. Nor would I, even if I could. Take up Garlean Steel was the first choice, but not the last. Like a first kill, the hardest. Every choice after that came easier and easier, until I stopped counting, stopped caring. You tell yourself it's right, it's for the greater good. You give the order, feel the ground tremble as a cannon fires, and the dust settles, and your own men are buried beneath the rubble. And you tell yourself, me too? You mustn't give in. That man in the village. I saw his past. I'm the one who killed his brother. I'll be alright. Just need a moment. Can you wait with me? I can. Everything the skulls fought for, the sacrifices we made, the things we did, in the end it was all for nothing. Sometimes I look back on the road I walked and the bitterness I can still taste, and I wonder, if I'd grown up in another time, another place, would I have done the same to different people? Was it always in me to be me? All I know is everyone would have been better off if I'd never been born. But I was, and I dragged others into the hell of my own making. I remember those two brothers in particular, childhood friends of mine. The older one enlisted with me, but the younger? He would never have made it as a soldier. He was too kind. Too good. Ansfrid died in Specula Imperatoris, but his brother's still out there somewhere. Not ever got the courage to face him after what I did. I hope he found the life he deserves. I met a former skull named Rudolph. Rudolph is alive? But how? I'm glad he made it out, but too many of us didn't. Too many others still need our help. I helped make this blasphemy, and by Ralga, I'll kill the bastard. That's the last thing I do. Anyway, that's enough out of me. I'll be heading back to the city to make my report. I suggest you do likewise. Welcome back. Fodola's already given her account, and I'd like to hear yours too. So she almost turned into a beast herself. Huh. We'll have to take that into consideration before sending her into the field again. As far as the events in Alagana are concerned, the two of you did well. Despite the appearance of several beasts, you were able to prevent any further casualties. However, this serves to confirm that those with connection to the Crania Lupi should be considered at risk of turning. Over the years, many of them have drifted away from the larger settlements and have taken to living in secret. Others made their way to Uldar as refugees, including some individuals of interest. As such, we'll be working closely with the Immortal Flames to locate and offer support to those refugees in particular. In fact, I plan to make a journey there for an audience with the Sultana. Once my preparations are complete, perhaps you might accompany me. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. Good, but I think I make a cut here and we continue this next time. Until then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.